When I moved to the Austin suburbs, I was expecting it to be the perfect blend of space and affordability and having activities to do without being so far away from the city. And for the most part, I was right. I actually really love living in the greater Austin area, but there are a few things that I realized over the past 2 years that led me to believe that this is not where I want to raise my son and not where I want to grow my business. So I'm going to break down the pros and cons of living in the Austin suburbs and let you know exactly why I'm choosing to relocate to the I-35 corridor. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Kendra. I'm a real estate agent in the Central Texas area, and I currently live in Georgetown, Texas. I'm also a mom, and we're heading to the park, so let's continue this conversation in the car. So that was a joke because I said that 2 days ago. Don't get me wrong, I did record this video, but I forgot to put these little fluffy mic things on, and the audio sounded so poppy and so horrible, and I could not with good conscience put that in front of you. So here I am recording it again from the comfort of my bed because it has been such a long day of managing clients and talking to buyer's agents and responding to emails and just being very, very busy admin wise. So I just needed to decompress a little bit and just sit on something super comfy. The purpose of this video is to give you the pros and the cons of living in the greater Austin area, but I'm going to put a little spin on it because there are so many really good videos on YouTube right now by amazing people who outline the pros and the cons of living in Austin proper or in the greater Austin area. So I don't want to overload you and sound like a broken record here. The pros and the cons that I'm going to give you directly correlate with me being a parent and being a business owner. So a little bit different perspective. If you're a parent or a business owner looking to move to Central Texas or the Austin area, this might be a little bit helpful for you. So we're going to dive right in with the pros of living in the greater Austin area. And I want to preface this by saying that we absolutely love it here. We're actually very, very sad that we have to move, but everyone has different seasons in life. We have really, really enjoyed living in the greater Austin area for the past 2 years. We originally moved, when I say I'm talking about me and my 7-year-old son, Luke, and my 2 dogs. We originally moved to Round Rock, Texas. We lived there for a year, and then we moved just 10 minutes up the road to Georgetown, Texas, and that is where we currently reside. And I thought that we were going to live here forever, if I'm being 100% honest. We love it here. The pros, and it's such a hard decision because we are moving, but the pros, if I'm being so honest, I mean, it really is a really good time living in this city, or in this area rather. So first pro is we are very close to Austin proper, and we're even very close to San Antonio. So we are on this side of Austin. It is a 30-minute drive to downtown Austin, which is not bad at all. It is about a 40-minute drive to Lake Travis, and to get across Austin, it takes about 45 to 50 minutes. So once we pass Austin, it really is almost free and clear on the road, and we'll come back to that later. But another pro about living in the greater Austin area is the access to amenities and activities. So Luke has been so blessed to be a part of a skateboarding club, and we've joined football. I gave him free reign for what he wanted to do, and he said no to a lot of things, but he could have been in soccer, and he could have been in baseball, and he could have been in jiu-jitsu. And there's just the access to things that you can do and put your children in is what feels endless. So there's just so many good options, and there's always something to do. Aside from that, the trails and the parks here are amazing. Where I'm from, we have one park and one trail, and they are both really nice to have, but just not the best quality, if I can put it that way. But here, the endless amounts of trails and parks and the quality of them and how safe they feel, and it's just so nice to always have somewhere to go. Me and Luke are very heavy on third spaces. We utilize third spaces so much, which is basically anywhere that doesn't involve work or home. And for us is mostly free. So having those parks and access to trails and biking trails is just really, really nice as a parent. Another pro about beginning my business in the greater Austin area is the people here. The people here are just so kind. I feel like no matter who I talk to, everyone has always been so kind. I feel very confident when I talk to people and, sparking up conversation because I've never had a bad experience. So it just feels very welcoming, very inclusive. There's a lot of diversity in this area. And I just think that it's a really good place and a really safe place to raise a family. Another thing that I want to point out is the homeschool community here. So I do homeschool Luke, and it's really, really important to me to plug into a homeschool community. And here in the greater Austin area, there is a very large homeschool community. There's a lot of resources, there's a lot of options if you're looking to homeschool. And so I just found that really, really nice and very, very convenient. I didn't use everything and I haven't plugged into every group, but just knowing that there is community that I could, potentially seek out and find is really nice to have. So now we're going to switch gears and we're going to talk about the cons. And if I'm going to be so honest, there's not a lot personally. The biggest con for me, and I want to say this carefully because again, everyone talks about this, but the biggest con for me is the drive. I don't want to say the commute and I don't want to say the traffic because I'm not a person who necessarily hates, being on the road. I'm not a road rager. But for me specifically, my business is pulling me south. My business is pulling me towards South Austin, Buda, Kyle, Seguin, Bastrop, New Braunfels, San Marcos. That is where my clients are wanting to buy and sell property. So that requires a lot of driving on my end because I'm north of Austin. I have to drive through Austin. And yes, there are toll roads, but I live right on 35. I did that strategically. So I'm right here close to 35 and the nearest toll road is about 12 to 15 minutes down the road, depending on traffic. So getting across Austin and then, going even further, even into San Antonio for some clients, it's just not ideal when you're a mom because Luke is always with me on these long trips as well. So that is really the only, and well, no, that's not the only reason, but that is the main reason that I've decided to relocate us to the corridor. The corridor being that long stretch of I-35 in between Austin and San Antonio. That area is just booming. I actually just got off the phone with a friend and she's currently living in Leander, which is a greater Austin area. She reached out to me to discuss possibly buying in the Buda area because her husband's company is now expanding south to the corridor. So it's just extra reassurance that that area is up and coming and it's going to be growing and expanding, and the people who get in now, I truly believe, are going to be put in a really good position down the road when it comes to appreciation and equity. Another big reason that I'm deciding to move me and Luke and my dogs to the I-35 corridor is because I do have family there. I do have my brother, his wife, and my 3 nieces and nephews that live there, and they absolutely love it. They will never be moving. And so they've been asking us to move closer to them. And I think it's time in this season of our lives to just be closer to family while also being able to serve my clients really, really well. And I just feel like in this season, again, this is just the move that I'm choosing to make for my business and for my son. So yeah, very quick, very short. And if you're thinking about moving to Central Texas, Greater Austin, to the I-35 corridor, in between Austin and San Antonio, if you're not sure where you want to live, you want to kind of explore all your options, you're wondering about where bond packages are passing, you're wondering about where companies are going to be opening, you want to look into where appreciation is going to be the best if you know that you're not going to be staying long term, I am so happy to be a sounding board. I would be so happy to have this conversation with you and really help you find an area and a home that really, really feels like home. Thank you guys so much for being here. I am so grateful for every single one of you. If you found this video helpful, please feel free to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.